Hello there. So I want to share this little landing page A/B test that I've been doing because the results have been very unexpected, and I think you'd find this interesting. So this is a landing page that I created for one of my clients recently. It's just an ebook, and it's actually a physical book too, and then obviously some information capture. And then we put a bunch of information down at the bottom because we wanted to incentivize them to leave a review on Amazon. So it's like almost like a second lead magnet. And then just so you can understand what you're looking at here, up here above this line where it cuts off, there's not much up here. It was just the top of the book and then the top of this headline, which is grab a copy of my new book. I just want to make sure I got this extra information down here at the bottom. So when you look at this, obviously it's ugly. It's really ugly. I agree. So the very first split test that I did was actually to make it a little less ugly. I removed all that extra information down at the bottom because I was just curious to see, like, this is just like bombards the eye. It's just almost too much to look at. It's just a wall of text. Nobody really wants to read that. That was my theory, at least, my hypothesis. So now I'm A/B testing this. So I want you to take a look at this, and I want you to tell me, I want you to tell me, what's your gut feeling? When you look at these two landing pages, which one do you think performed better? And I kind of just leaked it a second ago, I think, maybe. But just tell me which one you think is better. I had my feeling. My feeling was that if I removed this down at the bottom, the stuff down at the bottom, and made this simple landing page like this, it would perform better, and I was correct. So this one, the simpler version, did 35%, and the more complex, wordy version did almost half at 19.6%. So kind of interesting, not that shocking. Some people might argue like, oh, there's more information down here at the bottom. There's more incentive that'll make people want to sign up, and that's a pretty solid guess. I personally just thought it just looked too ugly, so I removed it, and I was right in this case. So that's the winner. Landing page B moves on, and just to be clear again, there's nothing above these lines or below. It's literally what you see here: a picture, a headline, and a call to action. So we have the winner, but like I said at the beginning, it's very ugly. It's purely functional. It doesn't look good. So and the client agreed. So he actually reached out to me and he said, "Hey, I don't really like the way this looks." His words were, "It looks cheap," which I 100% agree with. It does look cheap. It doesn't match his brand at all. It looks very homemade. And so we went back and forth and decided, okay, it should have this, it should have this, it should have this. We went through a whole checklist of things that he wanted to see done. And so what we ended up with was this version right here, which I call landing page C. And you can see some immediate differences. It's still very simplistic because it still has just a picture on the left and then the headline and then call to action. But it also has this giant banner at the top. So this is the title of the book, and all the colors match his brand: dark blue, yellow, white, and then this light blue. And then the picture, he specifically wanted this picture with him, which is a great picture, and then he wanted this Amazon social proof, basically. It's a #1 bestseller. It's got a really high rating and a ton of ratings. So that was his idea for a new picture. And so side by side, they both look like this. So the problem is when you're A/B testing landing pages, you don't want to just radically jump from one design to another one. Like if you want to do it a pretty scientific way, you're going to take one landing page and then you're going to change just one element, and then you have the version B with that new change. And so that way you can test things over time and see what performs better, and then you can pinpoint, oh, this one change resulted in this much growth. So perfect example is the one that I just did. This one change, removing this section down at the bottom, resulted in almost double the conversion rates. So when you go from this to this, it's hard to say which one. Like no matter what happens, no matter what the result is, you don't know what's going to be responsible for the results. So, but it is what it is. The client wanted something that matches his brand better. I 100% agreed. So we're basically starting from scratch. So now again, I want you to do the same thing as we did last time. I want you to tell me, or tell yourself, or write it in the comments, which one do you think did better? We already know this one did 35%. Did this one do better, or did it do worse? Well, here's the answer. It did worse, which honestly shocked me. I did not expect that. I figured this one's at 35%. This one matches his brand better. It looks a lot cleaner, looks a lot more professional. I figured at least it would do 40%, at least. It did 14%, which is even worse than this version, which is just blew my mind. I could not believe it. So you look at this version, you look at this version, it's impossible to know why it dropped that much because, like I said before, when you change this many elements, we changed literally every single section of the page, so we don't know which one or if a combination of them is responsible for the gigantic drop in conversion rates. But it is what it is. The client wants something that matches his brand better, so now I'm stuck with this as the winner, even though it performed worse. So what I have to do is I have to take this page and I have to split test individual elements to try to steal from the success of this one. And so that's what I'm doing coming up this week. So I've got this one is running now as basically the A test, but I'm going to just call it the C test. And what I've done is I figured the most radical change between these two, I think, is the banner. There was no banner on this one at all, so we added a banner. So my hypothesis is that this one without a banner will actually perform better. So that's what I'm actually doing. Version D is running this week. I'm going to try to get at least 1,000 views on each one, and see which one performs better. So again, I want you guys to tell me. I want you to tell me down below if which one do you think is going to perform better, and I also want you to tell me why you think this one performs so badly versus this one. Like, which elements do you think, or which combination of elements made this thing? This doesn't look like his brand. It looks very cheap, like the client said, and yet somehow it did so much better than this one. So what are your guesses? And I think I'm just going to turn this into an ongoing series because there's never an end to split testing landing pages, and it's always interesting to see which little changes you can make to make the conversion rates go up. So I think there's a lot of value in that. It's a good learning experience for me, good learning experience for you. And your questions will help me, and maybe your suggestions will also help me improve the engagement as well. So let me know what changes you think I should make, which one of these versions do you think will do better, and if you like these types of videos, you want to see me do more of them, please hit that like button, and thanks for watching.